Okay, so Donald Trump might have lost his mind. Let me explain. I wake up this morning to Donald Trump's 12 tweets of Christmas. It's not quite up to 12 yet. I think it's 9 or 10. One crazier than the other until you get to the last one. I'm going to read the last one to you guys, and even if you're a hardcore MAGA, I think you're going to start to agree with me that the guy, he's in bad shape, man. He's in real bad mental shape. Like 25th Amendment's no joke now, okay? You're going to get to make that decision on your own. I'm going to read you the last couple of totally mental tweets in a second. As usual, 8 days left on the membership drive, and only 8 days for me to catch Ana Kasparian, the current leader among the hosts, driving me a little bit crazy. Help a brother out on Christmas. Who's doing live videos for you guys? That's right, this guy right here, okay? tyt.com/jank to become a member of the Young Turks. And if you're a member, look, man, all the good things we've done, like helping Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez win. We did 34 videos about her before our election when no one was doing anything else. And building the home of progressives and getting over a dozen progressive shows. tyt.com/jank is a way to sign up. That's CENK. But right now, even though you're not going to sign up through me, I'm still going to tell you tyt.com/holiday gets you free. Totally free for a week. It's a trial, obviously, okay? So tyt.com/jank to sign up normally. It's just $4.99 a month, super easy. Or if you want to try it for a week free right now, tyt.com/holiday, okay? So now, first he goes after little Bob Corker. That's the retiring Republican senator from Tennessee, antagonizing current Republican senators, including retiring ones, is a terrible idea. They all have friends. The Republicans in the Senate are the only thing keeping you in office. If you antagonize them, you might come to find out that was a bad idea. It's usual dumb move by Donald Trump, but we've gone over that a million times. But he can't help himself. He did it again this morning, going back and forth with Corker over the last 2 days. Okay, we're used to that. Then on McGurk, the guy who quit in Syria at a protest for not only the decision, but presumably how Donald Trump made the decision to withdraw from Syria without consulting anyone, including our allies, and leaving a lot of people in the lurch. So McGurk was super mad and left, and Trump said, he's a nobody, I don't even know him. What's the big deal about him anyway? It turns out that's the guy in charge of fighting ISIS. Oops. So when you're going around saying, oh, yeah, I defeated ISIS, I did this so well, so beautifully, and then you go, I don't know who McGurk is. That's the guy who was in charge of fighting ISIS. Oh, okay, whatever, don't care, right? In other words, yeah, you had no idea what's going on in Syria. You didn't care. Obviously, you made that decision for other reasons, whether it's related to Russia, Turkey, etc., but you certainly have no idea what's going on the ground. Okay, all that, though, is still fairly standard for this president, not for any other president, but we've gotten used to his stupidity, incompetence, etc. But get a load of these last two tweets here. So about the wall, he writes, the wall is different than the $25 billion in border security. Okay. The complete wall will be built with the shutdown money plus funds already in hand. Nobody knows what that means. I'll get back to that in a second. The reporting has been inaccurate on this point. The problem is, without the wall, much of the rest of dollars are wasted. So I get the first sentence and I get the last sentence. I'm being generous to him. I get that he's saying the rest of the border security money, the $25 billion, will be wasted if you don't have a wall. Now, I don't agree with that. Almost no one agrees with that, that knows policy, but that's okay. Rand Paul's making fun of him right now on that. But at least I understand that point, though. It's not a big deal. The middle sentence is what has everybody perplexed. The complete wall will be built with the shutdown money plus funds already in hand. Funds already in hand is like not that much. They've only built 33 miles of not wall but fencing and repaired the rest of the fence. And shutdown money is not a thing. So all the reporters went and looked and they're like, what does he mean shutdown money? There is no money for the shutdown. The shutdown costs you money. Maybe, this is me saying now, being generous to him, he means the money we could save if the government wasn't shut down, then we could use that to build a wall. I'm being generous to him and making a lot of assumptions here, okay? But even so, you're the one who shut it down and said that you'll take the mantle and you'll be proud to call it a Trump shutdown. Okay, so everybody's perplexed by that tweet. That, to me, though, that's not nearly as bad as the last tweet and why I'm doing this video in the first place. So here's the last tweet. He said, quote, and I swear to God I'm quoting this, and you can see it online. He said, "I'm all alone," and then in brackets, "poor me." He wrote that, the President of the United States, in a tweet. He said, "I'm all alone, poor me, in the White House, waiting for the Democrats to come back and make a deal on desperately needed border security. At some point, the Democrats not wanting to make a deal will cost our country more money than the border wall we are talking about. Crazy." He ends crazy exclamation point. Well, Mr. President, we finally have an agreement. Crazy exclamation point. We agree on that. But what president, what grown-up writes, "I'm all alone, poor me in the White House waiting for the Democrats"? What are you, Macaulay Culkin? Poor me? I mean, look, does he not know that everybody thinks he's a child? I mean, Bob Corker's tweeting that we have to alert the daycare staff. Everybody calls him a child. He is a child. And then he writes, "Poor me, I'm all alone in the White House." What's going on with this guy, man? I think he's lost his mind. He's having I don't know if he had any wheels in the first place, but the wheels have come off. He's in the middle of a nervous breakdown. I mean, and these MAGA guys who all along say, "Oh, the liberals, they get triggered so easily." Have you ever seen anyone more triggered than Donald Trump? All you have to do is say something tiny bit. Jim Mattis, it turns out he hadn't read his letter, and then he found out through the news that his outgoing defense secretary's letter was mean to him. And then he got, guess what? Triggered, as always. He's the easiest person in the world to trigger. Now he's saying, "Poor me." He's crying. That snowflake is melting. Still doesn't believe in climate change, and he needs a safe space. He's like, "I'm all alone in the White House. Poor me." God damn it, you're the president. Don't write that, man. How can you not have enough sense not to write that down? You sound like a child, a pathetic little boy who is in above his head and doesn't know what he's doing. For God's sake, that's unbelievable. All right, so that's the president. I don't know when they're going to do the 25th Amendment or impeachment. I mean, Bob Mueller, put this guy out of his misery, man. At this point, I think even the Republican senators are like, let's go. He crashed the market. You see it today? Another giant crash in the market. So now the government is shut down. The market is crashed. He hasn't delivered on any of his promises except cutting taxes for the rich. He's an absolute disaster, and he's crying in the White House. I don't know if you knew this when you became president, but there's a very clear rule. There is no crying in the White House. Jesus, this is the tough guy that the Republicans admired? Oh, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen.